I can't sort of explain what the threat was from Venezuela to begin with. I think from a Chinese point of view, what's going on in Venezuela is good news if the United States fails. And what you see with regard to Trump is he uses military force often, but he uses it in a very selective and limited way. And then before people can criticize him for what he has done, he's on to the next escapade. The Venezuela operation is barely finished. And what are we talking about? Greenland. I can't sort of explain what the threat was from Venezuela to begin with.
There was none.
I can't explain why we're there. I mean, this all kind of puzzles me. But it seems that President Trump is interested in controlling the oil. For exactly what reason, I don't know, because as you just pointed out, we're not going to make much money from that oil in the near term. And as other people point out, if we were making a lot of money from that oil, it would just hurt the oil businesses in the United States.
Correct.
It's very hard to say what's going on here. You know, people talk about creating a situation where China cannot get Venezuelan oil. Okay, well, where do you think the Chinese will then turn to get their oil? The answer is quite simple: Russia, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So how this all fits together is very hard to say. We don't believe that Venezuela belongs to us. We might believe that the oil belongs to us. But we don't believe that Venezuela is part of the United States. From a Chinese perspective, Taiwan belongs to China. It's sacred territory. And they are going to take it back no matter what, because it belongs to them. So there's a very different logic at play here. I think from a Chinese point of view, what's going on in Venezuela is good news if the United States fails in its goal to win a quick and rather easy victory in Venezuela, as I described it before. What the Chinese should be hoping for is that we get bogged down in Venezuela, and then we decide we're going to do nation building in other countries in the region as well, because that will guarantee that we cannot pivot to East Asia in a meaningful way. And what you see with regard to Trump is he uses military force often, but he uses it in a very selective and limited way. He'll dump a couple bombs on Nigeria. He'll go into Venezuela and kidnap the president. But he is not doing regime change and social engineering. And this is in good part what allows Trump to get away with what he's doing. He uses military force in a very limited way. It's one and done. And then before people can criticize him for what he has done, he's on to the next escapade. And you see this with regard to Venezuela. The Venezuela operation is barely finished. And what are we talking about? Greenland, the next stop on the train line. And if he does Greenland, as soon as that's done, he'll be talking about doing Iran.